So here we are again with the Hickok 133B, and I figured I'd show you guys where I'm at with it right at the moment. It's not attached in the case right now. I did redo the face. Unfortunately, I didn't have the right color of gray to go, and I bought a couple different cans, but I did clean up all the rust, removed the meter, and I got a nice clean shine on this thing. I did shoot some gloss clear on it. It obviously didn't come as clear on this gray as I had hoped it would be, but I was trying to keep all of the lines and the information, like the Made in USA and everything, intact. There was a couple of areas that weren't so good, and I painted them in there up here and such. So I mean, it's not the prettiest in the world. I did actually change these knobs, and the reason I did that was because one of the old knobs was so seized up I couldn't get it off of there, and it literally broke. And it just so happened that I had these knobs that matched, and they fit the shaft. So I put those on there. The meter itself cleaned up really nicely. And really, so far all I've done is I fixed that coil, and I'll flip it over here in a minute and show you that. Cleaned everything up, put regular battery holders on it, and I don't have any leads. It takes pin type leads, and I'm going to have to make some pin type leads. Because basically everything I've got is banana leads, banana plugs. But I can say that I can make it do something. I mean, if I flip it onto the ohms low, I can adjust the meter using the ohms adjust. So I actually have got some life out of this meter, more so than I anticipated I would get. I haven't been able to test any of the rest of it because I got to get me some pin leads made up. But anyway, so let's pull it out. I'll show you what I did do. See if I can get this out of here. It is kind of a tight fit. I probably should have mounted my camera. I'm holding it in one hand and trying to show you with the other. Let's see here. See if I can get where I can get a hold on this thing. There we go. Now I'm starting to get it. Maybe I'll get it. Apologize for the video, as usual. Alright. Let me set it back on the box. Alright. Clean things up. I left the original metal battery holders there on both sides for the 9 volts. I did modify some existing 9 volt battery holders and just slid them right in. Remember, this was a U-shaped bracket, and I slid those right down in there, and they actually felt fairly snug. But I went ahead and put a tie wrap on it because of the fact that when this flips over, that has weight on it. And then up here, if you remember where the corroded brackets were, I went ahead and mounted a regular D-cell battery box, and I got that all wired up. You can see where I put some marks on, make sure I get the wires back on the right spot. The 9 volt batteries are actually run in series and not in parallel, so it's got 18 volts coming out of these. I'll be honest, I haven't checked all of the resistors. These resistors here were all within spec. The precision resistors, I haven't checked yet because I don't have a schematic for this thing. I didn't pull the wires off of this, but I did take it apart to an extent and really cleaned it really well. Used some deoxit on the contacts, soaked it WD-40, etc., etc. I did take the potentiometers off, one down there, and one over here, and I cleaned those out and checked them, and they checked okay. I did get this repaired. What I did was I pulled just a little bit more wire off of that, just a smidgy, enough that I could get some sandpaper on it and clean it, and pulled it over. So I'm probably one less coil on here than what it was before, and got it soldered. I had removed all these. That's why that other video I was pointing out what I was doing, I went ahead and just marked everything with paint so I knew I'd get it back right. So you can see, marked the wire white, that red, those particular wires in red because that's red, and I put red on that. I actually got some red there, some blue here, some gray here. Over here, I did check a couple of these resistors. They are off a little bit, not a lot, but they have crept upward out of spec. This one I haven't checked yet, and these, and there's some tape with some numbers on them. Some of it I can read, some of it I can't read, but these are in the series. So actually they're not really in series, but they are, but they're not. They're going, they start out, they come, another one joins in with it, etc., etc. But yeah, I guess they are serious because these terminals aren't really doing much unless you got a wire on it. But each resistor starts on its own spot, comes up and joins together, and that becomes the series for that. I haven't got that all checked out yet. So the short of it, I've got it all cleaned up as far as this whole assembly. I've got the switch mechanism cleaned up. I got the potentiometers cleaned up and checked out. I've got this wire wound here. The meter works. Got it cleaned up. Got the battery holders in place. I'm kind of on hold right at the moment because I'm trying to find a schematic for it. The schematic that, as you can see, I pulled it, that blue was in here and I pulled it out, and originally it looks like it was this white, but there's nothing left of it. I don't know where the person got the blue at, but they got it somewhere. So, trying to find a schematic for it. If anybody has one or knows where I can get the schematic, a good schematic for this, it'd be good. I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time on it at this point, like on the case or anything, until I figure out exactly what I got here and if I can actually make some use of it. I mean, I still probably will clean the case up just because it's a good piece of history, but I'd love to make the thing work again too. Problem is I've got too many other projects on hold, including my ICO 950A. So for now, I'm just going to set it back in the way I had it, and we will pick this back up at some point in 2019, I hope, and get this thing back underway and repaired and making the case look good, and put it in with my other tools. So thank you for watching. Sorry to drag this thing out for 6 parts, especially with the shorter ones. I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube stuff. And I'm not using a webcam. I'm just using my phone at this point to run these videos. So I haven't figured out how to jam a bunch of them together and make a longer one versus the shorter, 1-2 minute ones. So apologize for that. But for now, this is what it is. Thank you for watching. Bye.